The chakras are basically everything. They are the keys to everything. There is nothing you cannot find within the chakras. It's like if you want to know life, if you want to understand life, if you want to experience the totality of life, it is not an abstract concept like being one with life. What does it mean even being one with life? Because life seems so wild, so endless, so multidimensional. But when it comes to the chakras, it is all concentrated within these 7 centers. They tell us everything. They tell us all about the 7 wisdoms we are meant to acquire in the school of life. They tell us all about the different experiences and different types of happiness we are meant to explore and fulfill in human life. They tell us all about our obstacles. And they tell us all about the way life is already formed as 7 layers that flow simultaneously. And this is so mind-blowing and so exciting, and yet so easily understood, because when we embrace the teaching of the 7 chakras, they lead us to our greatest human potential, greatest human destiny, to become one with life and masters of life, to be able to embody this entire experience from the most earthly to the most heavenly, without getting completely confused, without getting completely disoriented, without overlooking this, emphasizing this, and then trying to reconcile the two, and returning to this, and then overemphasize this overlooked phenomena, and then missing that other thing. Within the 7 chakras, there is an approach that masters the whole of life, that at once embraces our 7 different capacities, 7 qualities, 7 perceptions, 7 worldviews even. In my own work, in my own teaching, and in my own very own experience as a human being, and as someone who ceaselessly tries to convey the totality of life as a direct experience, I constantly tried this path, the other path, to focus on, to become one path, to become one perspective. And so I really tried earnestly to stabilize my perspective and to make it fixed. And in my books, I constantly try to engage and to be total in one dimension, in one perspective. And while I was really earnestly trying to follow this through, this entire attempt it turned out to be futile, because it is, and it has always been like this, as at the core of the enlightened revelation for me that enlightenment means all and everything all at once. It means basically that you have taken off your own form to become life, to become the all-encompassing life, to become the universe itself. But then, if you do become this all-encompassing life, how can you look at life through one trait, through one lens, and to keep zooming in on one particular dimension, even if it is, by the way, the most spiritual state, the deepest state of samadhi, the deepest state of self-immersion. Even that for me is just zooming in, emphasizing one, or emphasizing love and so on, or emphasizing wisdom. So though it is true that each one of us has their own emphasized inclination, still for me this wasn't complete, and it never managed to satisfy me. A path that truly makes sense for me is a path that takes in, that absorbs life as a total experience. And therefore, the only structure I could ever find that would happily and easily accommodate my ambitious aspiration was the 7 chakras, because they basically say exactly the same. They say, here we are, within the human being, 7, and we all exist at once. And in enlightenment, we also know that when the 7 chakras combine, when they gather themselves, when they unify into one whole, this is when we get the what we call merging with reality, merging with creation, merging with the totality of being, of life.